Assalamu alaikum. How are you, my dear students? I am well. I hope you are all by the grace of Almighty Allah. I hope you are always in your online class. You always carry on your online classes because coronavirus has stopped our classes. So we take our classes on online based, and we also complete our syllabus on online based. So I'm Towfiqul Islam, lecturer in English, JuranpurMUAM. Welcome to Dautkandi Online School. Today I'll discuss you on changing sentence. Actually, changing means structurally it has changed, but meaningly it doesn't change. So we start changing sentence from affirmative to negative. So let us start. Affirmative to negative. In the first row, we can see must have to. Cannot got plus V1 or cannot help plus V plus ing. If we get must or have to in affirmative sentence, then we can change it in two ways. If we use can't verb, then we basically use present form of verb after can't verb. But if we get can't help, then we use ing form after verb. Example, we must do the work. So according to the rules, we subject must. Instead of must, we use can't, but, and then we use present form of verb, do the work. But if we use can't help, then you use ing form of verb. So in affirmative sentence, if we get must or have to, then we usually use can't but and then present form of verb. But if we get can't help, or then we use ing form of verb. Okay. But if we get had to, then we use couldn't but. Do the work. Or we can give another example. We couldn't help doing the work. So if we get had to, then we use couldn't but instead of had to. Or we can also use couldn't help. If we use couldn't but, then we use present form of verb. But if we use couldn't help, then we use ing form of verb. Rule 2. Both big and to not only but also. Instead of both dot dot and, we use not only dot dot but also. Example: he is both honest and active. So instead of both, we use not only, and instead of and, we use but also. So you can easily say, if you get in affirmative sentence which is made by both dot dot and, for negative sentence, we usually use not only but also. So here is the example: he is both honest and active. The answer is he is, instead of both, not only, he is not only honest but also active. This is the example. Okay. Number 3, if you get as soon as, then we use no sooner had, such as soon as I saw him, he went out. Instead of as soon as, we use no sooner had, and then subject, and then first participle form of verb, and then object. Instead of comma, we use they. And the next sentence: he went out. If we get as soon as, then we use no sooner had. Instead of as soon as, we use no sooner had, and then we use subject, and then first participle form of verb, and then object. And instead of comma, we use basically then, and then the next sentence. We usually use hardly had. If we use hardly had, then we use when. If we use hardly had, then we use when. But if you use no sooner head, then you use then. Okay. If you get universal truth in a sentence, so universal truth has no negative form. So if we change it negative interrogative, then it would be negative sentence. The sun rises in the east. So here rises. The subject is third person singular number. For this we use does as an auxiliary verb because present indefinite tense doesn't accept any auxiliary verb. So if any indefinite tense, present indefinite tense doesn't accept any auxiliary verb, then we take does or do. As subject is third person singular, for this reason we use does as an auxiliary verb, and then subject, the sun, and then main verb. Sorry, after does we use not. Doesn't the sun rise in the east? So the sun rises in the east. This is an universal truth. So at first we take auxiliary verb does, and then not, and then subject, and then main verb, and then extension. And at last we use node of interrogation. True, true. If we get true, true, then we change in different way, such as he is too weak to work. Instead of true we use so, and then to we use that. So he is, instead of two we use so, and then adjective weak, and after that we use that, and we use subject again. If the sentence is present form, then we use may or can, and then not, and then principal verb. So he is too weak to work. He is so weak that he can't work. He, subject, is, instead of to we use so, and then adjective, and then to. Instead of to we use that, and we use the previous subject he, and the sentence is present tense. For this reason we use current, and the main verb. So dear student, I hope you always practice, because it is so important for SSC and HSC student. So you will always stay in our online class. Don't go outside. Stay home. Stay safe and sound. Next class, I will discuss about our next roles. Thank you.